Anvil Empires, currently in development by Siege Camp, the studio behind Foxhole, is coming to Steam's Next Fest as a limited demo. Last month, I was given 2 opportunities to experience what this demo will probably look and play like. Where Anvil Empires itself will be a game with a very broad scope, where players are free to start their own homestead and be part of a town in a medieval style setting, where they can farm, mine, smith or hunt, and help with the construction of communal projects like area spanning waterworks, defensive keeps and road networks, as well as help provision their side's army by producing food, weapons and armor. The Next Fest demo will be focused on one aspect of the game only, warfare, and more specifically, the siege. In the Next Fest demo, players are able to join one of the 2 factions that are each on a different side of the siege. The Ancients, who are the besieged and are defending the keep, or the Remnants, who are the besiegers and are attacking and attempting to take the keep. The Pagans, the 3rd faction available in Anvil Empires, will not be available during the Next Fest. On both sides, the players have access to the usual variety of medieval weaponry: swords, bows, both short and long bows, spears and shields. 2 tiers of armor are also provided: medium, leather armor, and heavy chainmail armor. Both sides moreover have access to siege machinery specific to their side of the siege. For the defenders, there are pots of flaming oil and large boulders to throw down the walls, and scorpions, large mounted bows, to fend off the attackers. For the attackers, there are rams and catapults to breach the walls and gates, and ladders and siege towers to take the walls. Armor and weapons are taken from stockpiles. For the attackers, this is a large central tent in the siege camp, and for the defenders, everything is stored in the central keep. The standard interaction key E will open the stockpile, and simply left-clicking the items will transfer them into the player's inventory. Armor will automatically be equipped, shields, weapons and arrows will be put into the inventory. The top left will display the main hand and offhand equipment and the inventory slots. Pressing R will equip the main hand weapon or item, and pressing F will equip the shield or offhand item. To swap to an item from the inventory, the corresponding number of the inventory slot can be pressed to put it into the hands, followed by either R or F to actually equip it. Attacking with a weapon is done by simply left-clicking. Doing this will put a character into a fighting stance, which will slow down the character for several seconds. Weapons come with 2 different attack modes, which can be switched between by pressing C. The sword has a standard swipe attack and an alternative thrust attack. The spear has a standard thrust attack and alternatively can be thrown. Both bows have a standard direct fire mode and an alternative arced indirect fire mode. The shield can be used to block incoming attacks by holding down the right mouse button. The shield too has an alternative mode which can be used by pressing X. This will allow for the shield to be held overhead to protect against incoming projectiles. Multiple players together can form a shield wall. How effective their shield wall is indicated by the shield icons and blocking bar in the middle of the screen. Having all 3 shields and the bar fully filled will give the biggest block bonus. On siege equipment, crew positions can be mounted by pressing Q while near them, and holding W or S will help push or pull the equipment. To gather speed on, for instance, the ram, shift should be held down while pressing W. The siege equipment on the attacking side requires quite a bit of coordination between players, as they are moved by the 2 to 8 people manning them, and where in order to turn a siege machine, half of the crew has to move in one direction and the other half move in the opposite direction. The cranking position on the catapult, on the back right, can rearm the catapult after it has been fired by pressing R. This will crank back the arm of the catapult so it can be fired again. To reload the catapult, simply take a boulder from the inventory of the cart or the camp, walk to the catapult, press E to open its inventory, and click on the boulder to deposit it into the catapult. The operator position on the catapult, back left, can fire the catapult by left-clicking. While fighting and taking damage, your health will go down. To regain health, you can eat food that is provided inside the keep or camp. Simply press E to open the inventory of the keep or camp, scroll till you find pieces of food. Left-click on them to transfer them into your inventory. Equip a piece of food by pressing R and left-click to eat it. Make sure you are in a safe spot. Ladders can be climbed by coming up to them and pressing Q to grab them. Holding down W will make you climb up the ladder. At the top of the ladder, press Q again to let go of the ladder. The Anvil Empires demo will be available for all to play during Steam's Next Fest, which starts on June the 9th and goes on until June the 16th.